welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. This is a collective convo, and I wanted to share a couple things. First, I want to talk about like remaining authentic or being in your authenticity in a world that is so non-authentic, and part of that is another conversation I wanted to have, so we're just going to put the two together. The other part of the conversation is how I personally take care of my inner child, and I wanted to share some of the things I do so that you can, reconnect to yours. I think that taking care of our inner child and authenticity go hand in hand. I also believe that in order to decolonize or integrate our shadow, we have to address our little one within us, okay? And if you've been on my channel, you know that. We talk about that in literally everything that comes up. So, we do have college today, but that's what I've been really reflecting on, because right now I'm in this stage of my life where, I'm a single mom, and I have a couple things going, like, in regards to my own business. Well, I have quite a few things going in regards to my own business. I've set a foundation for myself, but I keep reflecting and I keep going back to this time when, in 2009, when I was, right before I got locked up, I was in the last semester of my senior year of college, my undergrad, and the pressure of what to do after graduation was crazy. And, now that I know who I am and what I'm actually about, like, I'm autistic, I didn't have autism as a descriptor in those times. I was diagnosed with mental health stuff, put into the criminal justice system, shit like that. But really it was autistic burnout. It was me getting to be like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, nothing seems fun. I wasn't passionate about my options, right? And so it led me to analysis paralysis. And it wasn't until I went through my master's program that I was able to find what it is that I was actually passionate about, and how much that has also shifted as I've healed, and what that looks like now. So now I do art programs for kids, and I do them in different venues, not just for kids, community stuff. And it's been this really beautiful, if you've been here the past few years, you've seen this happen, you've seen it play out. It's been a really beautiful progression into what we're doing now. But today, at college, we're going to be making slime, sand art, and magic potions. So I'm I'm getting paid to do this stuff, and I was a nanny in high school, and so it just feels like I'm kind of, I know I want to work with kids, because kids, I've worked with adults, I've worked with folks in the mental health system, I've worked with, formerly incarcerated folks. I don't mind doing that either. But I think for the sake of this conversation, and also my own inner child healing, working with children brings me hope, which at this point in time I'm lacking a lot of, right? So I really enjoy working with the kiddos, working with the youth. And again, I know you've heard this before, again, if you've been here, but I have worked so diligently as an adult to be an adult that I needed when I was young, to not lose sight of what it's like to be a kid, the things that kids are going through. And I think with all of the atrocity that we've witnessed the past few years too, it's protecting innocence is so important, and I do that within myself as well. People have tried to strip my innocence, they've tried to criminalize it, they've tried to call it crazy. I have done so much to protect that innocence within me. And so I just wanted to share, because maybe you're stuck. I think a lot of folks are stuck in this space of not knowing what to do, not knowing how to be authentic because everything's aesthetic based, not knowing how to be real and also, be within the system. And I don't think it's possible. I exist outside of the system as much as I possibly can. And when I am having to exist in the system, I mask. I put on a front, right? But I really, at this point in my life, I've gotten to, I don't have to do that too much. And if it feels uncomfortable and it feels like I'm having to mask, I disengage. It's not for me, right? Because for me, it's so important for me to be able to be authentic, especially raising a neurodivergent child as well. We don't need to be in spaces that make us be something we're not. I'm here to create spaces to promote who we are and allow us to be whole. And so like the ambulance and the trailer and the tarot stuff, I've got 3 vehicles, and all of them, I'm pointing because they're out here, all of them are business fronts. 2 of them are work in progress. I'm just trying to beat the heat right now. I can't really do much right now because of the heat. But yeah, and then the ambulance is a storage space for the other 2. So once those 2 are done, then we'll be able to have all 3 ready to go, right? But anyway, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I turned an old ambulance into an art studio. I just got a trailer a couple weeks ago that's going to turn into my shop. Because we were doing market setups, and I've been really wanting to create some sort of passive income. I really like the idea of having my own building, but I'm very nomadic. I don't want to feel stuck. So a trailer and an ambulance, both have wheels. Both of them aren't going anywhere right now. I can run my business outside. My landlord doesn't care. This town is very chill. Everyone's a business owner in this town. So it's working out for us right now. But anyway, and then my car, I'm going to be doing tarot readings and other esoteric stuff out of. I've kind of converted the back of the car to a cute space, but I still have to do more work on that. But again, the heat, because everything else I have to do, I have to use adhesives, and the heat just won't allow it. So I'm holding off until fall for that. Plus I got the trailer, which is a much larger project. But anyway, I wanted to share because I think that it's important right now. I think it's so important right now. It's a pivotal moment in human history to either go along with, things that feel inauthentic, things that feel like disconnect you from your soul or your spirit, or to take a stand and really, choose your own humanity. And so some of the things I've been doing the past few weeks, I just realized this, and like the things that I'm indulging in, like food-wise, are making my inner child really happy. Like the other day I was like, I really want Easy Mac, and so I was like, let me fucking make some Easy Mac. I've been making a lot of Shirley Temples. If you don't know what a Shirley Temple is, or a kitty cocktail, it's Sprite and grenadine, right? So I've been making a lot of those, and that just that's what I always used to get at the restaurants when I was little. So it just, I don't know, your taste buds are really powerful, and it just takes me back, and it satisfies this thing within me, my little self. I've been looking for The Secret Life of Alex Max. It's a show that was, I don't think it was Disney, I think it was Nickelodeon. But either way, it was a show that was on in the late 90s, or mid-90s. And I've been looking for it for years, and I finally found a playlist on YouTube. I also, the Advice from Wonderland, the Adventures from Wonderland, or Adventures in Wonderland is what the show is called. I thought it was called Through the Looking Glass. That's a newer video or movie with Johnny Depp. I haven't seen that. But this one, the show in the 90s that I used to watch before school was Adventures in Wonderland, and I found YouTube playlists of that yesterday, or the day before. And today I'm watching all that, and like Clarissa Explains It All. There's a movie, The Babysitter's Club, which was pivotal in my youth, and that was free on YouTube a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, and the soundtrack just brought so much back to me. I love that movie, and so I want to show it to the college kids, but I have to buy it on YouTube or rent it, and so I'm gonna hold off. But just watching these shows, it's crazy because they were so diverse, and it wasn't a thing. There were tons of different folks in all of these movies, and I know Nickelodeon and Disney both have their own, pedophilia and stuff, but I feel like that kicked off after these shows. I don't know, maybe all that. Well, Amanda Bynes was in all that, but I was just watching what's her name, Lori Beth Dimberg from all that. She was the librarian. And I was just I'm watching Keenan and Kel in the other room too, and I'm just Like the shows that we had were so silly, and I never really let that part of myself go. Like I never let I never took myself so seriously, and I never let anyone else make me take things so seriously. I never lost my humor. And so I just wanted to share a few things about. I think that living in your authenticity and taking care of your inner child are very much, it's a partnership. As you do one, you will receive more ability to do the other, right? It's very reciprocal. And I wanted to share for folks who are feeling drained by, you know, corporations, AI, the bleakness of the future of the world. I think that reconnection to our silly is so important, especially if we're parents or around children. I think it's so, you know, there's such an idea that we have to be, you know, stoic and serious because we're parents and adults. No, we don't, you know. When you were a kid, if your parents treated you like that, how'd that make you feel? Well, that's probably how your kid feels. Like yesterday I had to discipline Niall because he hurt the dogs, and I take animal treatment very seriously. So he had a pretty harsh consequence, but you know, after 20 minutes or so, I explained, and I was like, I don't want to have to I don't want to have to discipline you like this. But this is a red line with me. You're absolutely not going to hurt the animals. Like, you see how much mommy takes care of all the animals. You're not going to go around hurting them. Like, that's not okay. And you know, and we had a conversation about jealousy. And Niall is nonverbal, but he understands. He's not stupid. He just doesn't talk. And so we had, you know, a conversation, and I was telling him stuff. But even then, you know, I found I had to take his tablet away because, like, I need him to understand the severity of what he did. And so I had to take his tablet away because that's where he finds happiness. But then, you know, we watch on Facebook, we watch these, like, color mixing videos. I don't know if you've seen them. And so I started showing him those, and that was kind of like an olive branch, and then we were fine, right? But I remember when I would be in trouble, it would be like a lecture, a conversation, corporal punishment of some sort. And then they would like hold it over your head and like degrade you forever, right? We don't do that. And so I think even that, even within parenthood, even within guiding, you know, think of it as a guidance, right? We're guiding this person to be a good human in the future. It's not about them being an extension of us. It's not about us controlling them. It's about us making sure that they understand the severity of things and when they do things wrong, but not degrading them as a human. So I don't know. It's, you know, I'm only one parent, but I think that when we are able to live in our authenticity, it makes it easier for us to also connect to our children, whether we're in some sort of position of leadership or guidance with children professionally or as parents or aunts, whatever our role is, right? I'm not saying I'm a perfect parent, and Niall did have a harsh punishment because I met his with the same. But anyway, you have to do that to make sure they understand. So anyway, I'm just sharing because my authenticity never leaves, right? Like, even when I do have to navigate situations, either out in the world or in my home, I always center back to, does it feel good? Is it right? To myself. And I think that people have become so far and disconnected from their authenticity that it feels like I'm getting this image of someone blindfolded in like fog and like where am I going? You know, like you're lost. It can feel it's taking me to Scooby-Doo. Like the graveyard scene with all the fog. Anyway, so I don't know. Whatever you can do to connect to your inner child, again, whether it's eating a snack, you know, maybe you need to get some celery, peanut butter, and raisins, right? Maybe you need to get, I don't know, maybe you just need to get something that you used to eat. I should probably do ants on a log. But anyway, maybe you just need to do something But I feel like when it comes into your brain, instead of like shushing that part of you and being like, that's stupid, people will make fun of me, just do it. Who the fuck is asking you what you eat at night? Who's gonna know? And when you satisfy that desire, it shows your inner child and it shows your innocence and authentic sides of yourself, that you do care about them and that you do want to be in relationship with them, and that you don't want to, become some suit asshole, right? I'm thinking of the Santa Claus movie. I'm thinking about Jingle All the Way. All of those movies that like the father figure was like so distracted by work, Click, that he like forgot about. Society wants you to give them everything you've got, but when we stand in our authenticity and when we remind ourselves of our innocence and we take care of that part of ourselves, oh god, the world would be like Lisa Frank. Like, it would be such a better world. And that doesn't mean that you're apathetic or you deny that there's real things happening. I think that it's actually a space to be able to reconnect, because the children are being preyed upon. And as adults, if we're doing that to ourselves, then we're being a part of that problem. So I hope this helps. Eat your favorite snacks. Get some fucking grenadine and Sprite, and make a kitty cocktail. Get the little cocktail umbrellas. Like, enjoy life. Like, don't take yourself so seriously. You're the fucking punchline of a joke if you do that. Have a good one.